So, review September. Years going by fast. End of Q3 already. So we're gonna do the Q3 review as well at the end of this. Yeah, but I'll start with the shout out to the community. And yeah, it's been pretty exciting. I feel like there's more and more happening and more kind of collaborations and significant contributions and interesting exchanges on the forum. So yeah, this is getting really fun to put together these slides. So first of all, some first-time posts, new people joining the forum. Ram from the University of Groningen in the Netherlands, introducing himself and asking some questions. And then also Pepe Docs, and yeah, asking about time series, better recognition in time series, but then there are also a couple of other posts from him and even a PR that I'll show in a bit. So yeah, welcome to the forum and the project. And then, yeah, there were a bunch of interesting posts just to highlight. There were, yeah, a couple of papers shared. For instance, here, DLAD shared a paper on, yeah, whether current models have an understanding of physics or they can just generate impressive visuals. And then, yeah, another interesting paper shared around, yeah, robotic manipulation and how it helps to provide point cloud data or predict point cloud data. Some discussion around those. And then, yeah, here another interesting thread started by Pepe Docs around how learning in Monty works algorithmically. Then, yeah, in the category of helping and interacting with others, I think the award this month has to go to Agent Rev. He's just been really helpful answering people's questions, replying to people who share other people's, like, other articles and research, and how it relates to Monty, giving feedback on the workflow for doing research with Monty. Yeah, replying to different articles about researchers doing alternative approaches to AI. And then, yeah, TBP-based projects and plans. Zach has posted again, kind of this time posting a bit more of a concrete outline of a potential undergrad project using Monty for an application in robotics. And then here was another post, I think it was Spencer. Yeah, posting about implementing a custom learning module using SDRs and some proposals around that. And yeah, said she started to implement an SDR-based learning module and will share some visualizations once things are working. So looking forward to that. And then also Sebastian asking about some more details on our previous investigations into integrating HTM into a learning module. And yeah, saying, yeah, sure, it's a monumental task. However, I'm still interested. So yeah, maybe also looking into that, which would be cool to see. Then, yeah, we had a couple of community PRs this month, some fixes to the documentation, some mostly link path fixes. Then, yeah, a PR from Pepe Docs, updating the environment to allow MKL dependency for Mac Intel. A nice PR from Agent Rev, adding a WSL tutorial for setting up Monty on subsystem for Linux, Windows subsystem. Which he previously shared on Discourse, but now it's integrated into our documentation. And then another PR from Pepe Docs, fixing a path assumption. And yeah, those were the kind of smaller ones, but still really nice and helpful ones. So thanks for those. And then we also had some contributions to our overall roadmap, which are often like quite big chunks of work. And you can see like each of these items is a bigger chunk of work, and the kind of icons show what people both in our team and in the community are currently working on. And so one really nice example of someone contributing to an item on this roadmap this month was from Anna, who first, yeah, posted on Discourse about how she can contribute in the intro thread. And then we had kind of scoped out potential options and then an action plan of different steps to make it happen. And then it kind of continually interacted on here with like questions and progress on this item of combining data loader and dataset into an environment interface, and basically working on a really nice pull request refactoring Monty to slowly look a bit more like an actual embodied system instead of an AI that learns from a static dataset. And this PR was merged last week, where, yeah, she merged the data loader and dataset into one class. and updated all the respective calls of those and configs, and even added some more unit tests. So yeah, really great PR contributing to our roadmap. Thanks a lot, Anna, for this one. And another one working on another item on our roadmap is Colin, working on adding GPU support. So we have a GPU working group now. And these are the first 2 videos of our new community edition video series. 2 meeting recordings of Colin and Tristan meeting and talking about how we could add GPU support to Monty. And there are also meeting notes in this course from that. Then Greg Robinson has written some more nice blog posts, the theory of mind on humor, and then also shared previous blog posts I think that I had in last month's presentation on this course. So those are really nice reads if you are looking for something to read. And then other people have also been sharing Thousand Brains project on social media, kind of responding to people talking about AI and whether LLMs are the path, or what is the path to real intelligence. The first time I think that Grok mentioned Thousand Brains project, someone asking it what's Monty, and the ex-AI agent giving a summary of our project. Yeah, here another person sharing our paper about Monty and what it can do. And yeah, another one commenting on a post about like a definition of intelligence and referencing Jeff's definition in the Thousand Brains book. And yeah, here another kind of thread about yeah, LLMs and Monty and learning through interaction with the world. So yeah, thanks a lot for everyone sharing the project, right, posting on the forum and contributing to our code base. It's really exciting to see. And yeah, hope the trend continues, and I'm excited to see everyone's projects, everyone who's forking Monty, to see what they're doing with it eventually. Okay, so kind of goals that we set out for ourselves, or priorities that we set for the past 3 months, we're kind of mirroring the TVP mission again. So we have, this was mostly kind of a research priority, enabling Monty to model compositional objects accurately and efficiently. Then this was a bit more on the engineering side, make Monty easy to use, improve, and contribute to, both for us and for external people. Then increase external interest and awareness of our approach. And lastly, on the theory side, figure out how to model object behaviors in the brain and in Monty. And so specifically, kind of sub-goals we had there, for modeling compositional objects, one of the sub-goals was to have a data set, training and inference protocol, and evaluation measures to evaluate Monty's compositional modeling abilities. And we got a huge chunk of that done during the focus week. We already had the data set from Scott, and then yeah, basically implemented the training and inference protocol, the supervision for it, the evaluation measures, and evaluated Monty. And then yeah, I did a bit more cleanup and getting it ready to integrate into TBP Monty in the kind of weeks afterwards. So it's kind of light green, which means a bit of follow-up work left because it still needs to be merged into Monty, but it is all there. Then I put that in the wrong spot. Improved let me move this thing a bit. Okay, improved hypothesis resampling based on different signals. So based on prediction error, out of reference frame movement, salient features, confidence, manifesting as improved or comparable accuracy on compositional datasets with reduced computational overhead. So a lot of work went into this one. There was work from both Rami and Hojay scoping out kind of approaches for this in different RFCs. Hojay's RFC actually split into 3 RFCs. And then there's this feature branch that Rami has been working a lot on over the past months. And Hojay has been testing the out-of-reference frame movement, which I marked as done now because we decided to not integrate that right now. But we have a nice write-up of all the results. But yeah, so a lot of work went into it, but none of it made it into tbp.monty yet. And we don't really have final results on like improved accuracy for this one yet. Then Saccade policies improve accuracy on compositional datasets and enable sparse models. So Scott worked a lot on this, and then also Hote during the focus week. So we have Scott implemented the saccade policy, moving to goal states, a lot of plumbing into Monty for sensor modules emitting goal states and adding the goal state selector, adding the inhibition of return, and then testing different saliency methods and evaluating them against each other, and also learning sparser models. So yeah, this kind of showed improved accuracy and all that, but again, it's light green because it's not integrated into TBP Monty yet. And then added and tested to the surface sensor module, enabling improved representation of 2D on 3D compositional objects. Hote got started on that last week. There's a nice feature branch started, some first results on it, but yeah, this one is still early in progress. Make Monty easy to use, improve, and contribute to. We had motor systems disentangled from other classes, but that one got kind of superseded by other things that came up, like a lot of platform planning. So there wasn't a lot of progress on this one. Then Monty's not constrained to Python 3.8, which Jeremy is working on. It's still in progress, but there was several PRs merged and also changes that are currently in progress on this one. Basically, the approach currently being to integrate Mujoko as a different simulator, which allows us to upgrade Python. We briefly had a much higher Python version during the focus week, I guess, with the other approach that Tristan will implement it. But that's not the current main path. And then added interactive and up-to-date overview of where people can contribute. That one also, there's a lot of progress, and basically will implement it, all of this already, but it's currently under review. So hopefully it will be live very soon. And then improved documentation on how to contribute and how to customize Monty for specific applications. That was a bit of a big one, I guess, but there were been several PRs both on adding our hackathon projects as examples, and then also just general kind of improvements to the documentation, adding some more cross links and information on using Monty and how Monty works and how to contribute and do research with Monty. Increase external interest and awareness of our approach. One of the big items was to publish all the material around hierarchy and DMC papers and produce it. So Will has, recorded and edited and produced all of the kind of shorts for the DMC and hierarchy paper and the full-length videos. And there are 2 blog posts with the plain language explainer on our website now. So that one is done. And the shorts are kind of being gradually released, but all kind of ready in the pipeline. And then presented TBT and Monty at several conferences and speaker series. I kind of marked it as green because it was again a bit more vague, but we haven't really presented it much, but attended several conferences and then kind of lined up several presentations for the next weeks and months. But that's kind of an always ongoing thing. But yeah, made good kind of progress. And yeah, organizing an online community event hasn't happened yet this quarter. And then on the theory side, one of the items was a proposal for open questions around object deformations and actions. We haven't really gotten into talking about that too much the past months, but hopefully we will in the next months. And then concrete write-up or prototype of how to model object behaviors in Monty. I put together a presentation and then a write-up in the Google Doc of like the exact concrete steps of what we would have to do to get these different capabilities that we need for modeling object behaviors. And so planning to also integrate that in our public documentation, hopefully this week. But yeah, we have a pretty concrete write-up of that now. So yeah, overall, I think we did a decent job on the priorities. Yeah, several things that like a lot of work went into, but there's still some follow-up work to do, especially to integrate things into Monty. But yeah, we've worked on almost everything on there and made good progress on almost everything on there. Okay, but then yeah, I'll briefly go over the Q4 priorities that Tristan, Niels, Will, and I put together. So again, I kind of put the mission on the left side and the priorities on the right, and they kind of follow a similar pattern as the last 2 quarters. So first, this was basically a continuation of the first priority last month. Last month, we gave Monty the ability to model compositional objects, and we can evaluate its ability to model compositional objects now. So the next quarter is really about improving Monty's ability to model compositional objects, both accurately and efficiently. And so there are a couple of kind of research lines that go into that. Basically, taking the baseline metrics we have now and improving on them, getting Monty better at modeling compositional objects. That's kind of the big theme for the research, I would say, in the next quarter. Then making Monty easier to use, improve, and contribute to. I'll go into like the sub points for that in a moment. Increasing external contributions to the project, and theoretical progress on how to utilize behavior models. So this one is, again, a bit of a continuation of the previous one, but it's a slightly different worded. So I feel like now we have a pretty good idea of how we want to model object behaviors. And so this one is focusing more on how we then use these behavior models, for example, for actions and also to make predictions about like what to see. Let me go through kind of what goes into these. So Monty's ability to model compositional objects. One part that goes into that is the model-free and model-based saccade policy that Scott has been working on. So the goal state generation of sensor module, saliency, the goal state selector, and saccade policy are all validated and integrated into tvp.monty. So that would be probably several integration projects, getting that all into the main code base. Then dynamic adjustment of the hypothesis space that Rami has been working on a lot is validated and integrated into tvp.monty, which will probably also be several integration projects. Then the compositional object testbed and metrics is integrated into tvp.monty. That's the kind of PR I opened last week. Tested additional ways to improve performance on compositional testbed. So there's this 2D sensor module that Jose is working on, potentially masking or segmenting in the sensor module in addition to saliency. Hypothesis re-anchoring is an idea we talked about. Adding the top-down connections will be an important one. Storing the child relative to parent orientation is another piece of plumbing that needs to be added into Monty. And then hyperparameters, and kind of I expect us to be running lots of experiments in the next months, kind of figuring out how to get best model these compositional objects. Making Monty easier to use, improve, and contribute to. This one might look a bit familiar. So here is the motor system is disentangled from other classes. Right now, there's a lot of kind of messy entanglement between the motor system and data loader and data set, which are now one class, but still a lot of entanglement. And Tristan has been working on that one. And then Monty's not constrained to Python 3.9, which Jeremy's working on with the Mojoko integration, and also integrated with simulator that runs on Windows, as well as distributed via PyPy instead of Conda. Both also ties into the Mojoko integration that Jeremy's working on. And then for increasing external contributions to the project itself is not very concrete. It's a bit partially outside of our influence, but we have a couple of concrete points that we want to do to hopefully achieve that. So one is to get the future work table live, and then for us to update the research, engineering, and community items and the metadata associated with them, so that like everything's up to date. People can easily find different projects that require different skills for different interests in that interactive table. And it's easy to find a place where someone could contribute if they want to. Fostering the community engagement and collaborations. That's the kind of ongoing things like Penn State, IDPR, community members. Publishing more resources on Monty and the project. So that involves both like the DMC and hierarchy paper being published in the journal. So we need to address the reviewer comments for that and resubmit the DMC paper. But then also more video releases, documentation updates, and speaking opportunities. Then lowering the barrier to find information and contribute. So kind of figuring out what's the path people take, what kind of information are they looking for, and how can we make it easier for them to find that information. And organizing and hosting a community event. And then lastly, theoretical progress on how to utilize behavior models. One proposal on how to use behavior models to make predictions about morphology, including distortions, and a proposal on how to use behavior models to inform actions.